So Toonkritic is essentially the worst. I think I'm okay to say that now. Now I've covered Toon several times in the past for being, well, the worst. And every time I kind of, was like, okay, this is a little pity at this point. But you see, it turns out Toon also, well, he started erotically role-playing with someone 10 years younger than him. 14 at the start, to be exact, while he himself is 24, making him a pedophile. Oh god, this is something right here. I mean, I guess it's a good way to make sure that they're literate. After all, that is one of Toon's most important requirements. However, it just... oh my god. Now, before I start reading you sections from the logs, I just want you to know I'm not going to do some stupid "we is powerful" speech. I'm not going to tell you the name of the girl because by the sounds of it, she really regrets this. Or any of that. I'm just going to read you the logs and comment on Toonkritic. That's it. But okay, let's just read some of them. This... Friday, 11 November 2016. Toon. Curious. I've only liked to see your face. I don't think I've seen the rest of you. I can assume you're a tiny twig, XD. The girl. Wow, thanks. Toon. Though I'm curious. A removed message. But since you're curious, I'm 5'11" and pretty thin. So you got that right. Toon. I was going to ask pick-wise. Immediately, you can just tell what this is off to. Just immediately. Girl, whoa, that message sent twice for some reason. XD, pic coming your way if you're curious. The logs contain pics that are censored, by the way. Toon, please don't think I'm a creep or anything. But by the way, there are some things that if you have to reassure people, you just kind of by default, you more than likely at least somewhat are. I should just warn you. And now, here are some more quotes from the logs. True, you should find someone your own age. And not a pedophile. Lol. You had to say lol after that, by the way. He then asked her if she wants to roleplay with him, which also gives him this quote. Like, I don't want you to think less or think I'm a pedo or anything like that. And it's just stories at the end of the day, not real. Remember that, by the way, as we will come back to it. You see, Toon... I don't know how to describe this. Essentially, some people have said I don't have emotions because I didn't like The Perfect Pair or something stupid like that. I don't know whether or not Toon actually has human emotions. I genuinely don't know. There's also a point where Toon sends this underage girl pornography, which again is censored in the logs, in case you were wondering. Or at least in the screenshots of the logs I got. Which, by the way, is illegal. The girl also reminds Toon, still 24, that the girl is 14. Again, all of this is not legal. None of this is legal. Oh, and remember earlier where Toon said it was just words? Well, now he is saying this later on. Is it weird I'm attracted to you? Girl, like in what way, if I may ask? Toon, okay, like attracted in a mental and emotional sense. So these just words got Toon attracted to her, at least according to him, in, quote, a mental and emotional sense. Toon continues this stuff all throughout, by the way. Here's some more. However, I want to explore those other kinds of feelings, more so on the romantic side. Do you see the problem here? Do you see the problem? He's gone from, it's fine, they're just work, oh, I actually have feelings for you now. By the way, for someone saying, oh, maybe he just really did grow feelings, we'll get to how valid those feelings were in just a minute. Don't worry. They're coming up. He also repeats this several times. Like, he's still doing it, but he continues doing it all throughout the law. And eventually, the girl just agrees to it. Toon. And if you are, then I'll just come clean. I'm attracted emotionally, romantically, and sexually to you. Do you feel the same way? Girl, emotionally, yes. All my yes. But at this point, I'm still trying to figure out the rest, really, if you don't mind. Toon, well, can I help you figure out the rest? Girl, it's going to take some time for me, but sure, I wouldn't mind some help. My God, this is just... He's essentially taking advantage of her. This is how you do things like this. You say, no, I love you. I really do love you. And then you go stab him in the back. And we'll get to the backstabbing in a minute. I know I keep building up to that, but it's tremendous. Believe me, let me tell you. Oh, we also get this quote. I feel bad for playing with you. I thought you were 16. The girl even kind of calls this out, by the way. By saying, I honestly thought you knew I was 14. Toon, I swore you told me 16, lol. I suppose on that note, what are you up to? He knows, and he continues, by the way. And on a side note... You can see the logs. The girl clearly said 14, and Toon even said 14 several times. I'm not gonna call this like gaslighting or something. It is possible Toon is just this stupid. I'm gonna let you come to that conclusion, though. By the way, these things Toon wants called just words. Now Toon and the girl are considering living together. Morning, I wish I could keep you around. This is Toon talking, by the way. Can I ask you something weird? If I could live on my own, sustain myself for a long while, have my own place, he'll never be able to do that, mind you. Would ya live with me? Girl, if it was my own choice to make, hell yeah. Why wouldn't I consider it? I would love to stay with ya. Oh my God. This is getting... But don't worry, Toon is still compassionate. For instance, when the girl is feeling down, this is a message that he gives her. Toon nuzzles and kisses gently. They're role-playing right now. You know, sex is a good stress reliever. Now... that sounds bad. But in all fairness, that has actually been scientifically proven. It doesn't excuse the context around it, mind you. But that is, he is technically giving her good advice. Because he wants to sleep with her. Even though they're 10 years apart, and that's really creepy. But now they start talking about if they could go to a room by themselves. Girl, Also, a little random thing, if you're serious about what we can get away with if I was ever able to meet you in real life via Connor, you technically take my first kiss in that regard. Toon, oh, how so? That's pretty self-explanatory. It gets better. I'm gonna skip a little bit here. Toon, I think it'd be pretty interesting having you all to myself in a hotel room. Girl, hey now, I've possibly got my sister/guardian to be with me most of the time, or at least them forcing me to keep them updated if I go anywhere alone, and I've still got our friends to hang out with. The chances of the two of us really being alone in a room together would admittedly be low in that case. If I did come out, at least know that I probably won't go anywhere past a kiss, at least until I turn 18 or so. Though I must admit, you're making me morbidly curious on what you would do if that scenario were to come. Toon, do you actually want to know? He doesn't actually give her a chance to respond, by the way. He just immediately tells her. Imagine the RPs we've done. I've cut out most of those, they're typical stuff. We'll just leave it at that. It's just, oh god. Then when, you know, it just goes on for a minute until we get this line. I'm a little drunk. But by the way, if you're in a relationship with a 14-year-old and you can say that, there's something kind of wrong going on there. Just saying. Also, at this point, the girl is 15 now. At least the point of this line. I don't know her exact birthday, mind you. But Toon gives us this amazing quote. I'm doing this. Up until recently, I thought this was just for fun, but then I realized I'm doing this with a 15-year-old. Only took you a year and multiple times of her stating it, including one where you screwed up the age to figure that out, Toon. I don't think you understand how linear time works. This has been going on for a while, so I'll just give you kind of the long, because there are over 500 pages of these, okay? This was going on very long for over a year. And there are other things, including Toon asking her to pose in pictures of just her panties and a leather jacket, a deleted image of him showing something, of a PG-13 photo, as he put it, of, at best, his abs, maybe? Etc., etc., etc. But you ready for the huge kicker? During this time, Toon was actually dating a guy. He was cheating on his boyfriend to erotically roleplay with someone underage. This is just scum. This is just awful. This is someone who is truly a bad human being at this point. He is manipulating other people. He is lying to other people. This has been made clear time and time again, because this is who Toonkritic is. Read the logs if you don't believe me. Censored versions are below, and I don't have uncensored versions, in case you're wondering. I didn't personally censor them or anything. Those are just how I found them. And think, that is who Toonkritic is. Don't worry, though. The lawyer Tooncritic now has a defense for all of this. You see, when someone, I think Meliminis, but don't quote me on that, called him out on this, Toon responded with this. I will say this. The screen caps, if you have seen them, are not fake. I believe this whole entire story is being twisted in a way to make me look bad. Well, there aren't very many ways you can make this look good, Toon. Age of consent laws in the Philippines are 12. Yes, Toon! You, as someone who is from, according to your own YouTube profile, Chicago, should obey the laws of the Philippines, which is not even in the same continent. By the way, some of you may be wondering, Toon has a lot of friends, where were they on all of this? Well, Keyframe, Golden Fox, Lightning Bliss, and many others were willing to appear on streams with him. Josh was still doing Dungeons and Dragons of role-playing, not that kind of role-playing, thankfully, with him. FNGR never said anything. Despite him running a series called How Not to Brony, and this being, I'd say, a pretty good example of how not to brony. They were silent the entire time. You will never see a group of people more aloof than the brony fandom when their friends do something awful. I was going to end this with a joke about FNGR covering this for about a minute in no detail on How Not to Brony, and then spending like 30 minutes talking about how Lily Pete said something mean, which at this point is just How Not to Brony, the series. However, I saw this comment on Vita's video by Misantropony, and it just caused me to snap. Misantropony, I am honestly dreading the glass of water on this situation. Yes, Misantropony, that is the problem. Not what Toon did, but that Lily Pete might use it to say the brony community did something wrong by not addressing pedophilia within their own circle. Which is pretty bad, by the way, just saying. And then TF Legend Reborn says, Jerry, again, you can't say the actual channel name, would defend him because she was the age of consent and it was only words. Okay, one, citation needed. I mean, you may be able to point to Stockholm, which was written like 5 years ago, but these are people. These are actual people, not fictional characters, just saying. And you know this is what the fandom does, by the way. You call someone out, well, oh, someone does something awful, well, this may be used in a negative light. That's what's more important. Oh my god. So, that's... Oh god, this has been a while. I've been doing this video for a while. I'm Ephrom, and good night. If you can have one after this. I really envy you.